Alright, hopefully everything's up and working now. I actually had to frickin' bring up a whole completely different new software. So, let's see if it's actually working. If it's not, I am giving up for tonight. I got a couple of people joining in. Hey, Nick. Alright, things are working on Facebook. Um, Sweet, and I got people on YouTube. Alright, it's actually working. So I've officially given up on flipping Streamlabs. Went straight and got OBS. But holy cow, that was fucking painful. So, as the title, I don't know how the title came across on YouTube. Tonight we're going to talk about how your trucking career can be over tomorrow. Um, Not only just for stupid decisions, but for medical reasons, and kind of going to bring up a YouTube trucker that's kind of going through some crap and kind of talk about it a little bit. So, gonna give this a minute to get out, let people get back in. Sorry again, I apologize earlier. I'm trying to get all this crap up and working. Um, so, other than that, I think I've got this figured out now, and I'm no longer going to use Streamlabs. I'm going straight to OBS. So, should be all working all good now. So, how's it going, Twisted Big D? Got How's it going, Michael? I'm doing good. I'm parked for the night. As I said, I'm trying to get all this up and working professionally, unlike the crap I was dealing with before. Shit. Hey, alright. Hey, if you want to share it live, I can throw on my phone line and I can have you call in if you want to do that, Nick. Let me know if you're cool with that. All I know is I got to get used to this delay. Um, So I do have a separate Google Voice number. I can have you call in if you really want to share it live. And hopefully that's going to be another way to test out and make sure everything's up and working. So not only over the chaos of everything that happened with good old Crazy and his student, um, and how that cost him his career, but I'm gonna share a story about, kind of talk about um, kind of what's going on with the YouTube trucker. OBS, okay, give me a second, I'll get that turned on. OBS Twisted is another streaming setup. I would say it's a lot more basic, and I would say kind of like the beginning of Streamlabs OBS, but it's just straight OBS. I cannot multi-stream from there, so that's why I'm also using Restream. I'll save all that for a later video, but so the basics is it's just another streaming or recording platform. Give me 1 second here, Nick. Where the hell's uh, I won't share your number out. It's gonna be over on the side, so people can't see your number, so you don't have to worry about that. Do do do. All right, hey Nick. I'm gonna type it in here, but call 615-624-4258. What's up, sir? Gonna have one of my students call in and kind of talk about how his career ended, and he's supposedly one night. So I haven't even heard this story yet. So again, Nick, the number is 615-624-4258. Yeah, yeah. As I said, Twisted. It. You get a computer, you can put a white screen over the side, and it will light everything up for you. Let me know if you have any problems, Nick, on calling in. Make sure the missing one. 615-624-4258. So, this is kind of why I want to set up the call-in line and all that, so people can actually share their true stories and not just hearing a third party from me. 615-624-4258. 615-624-4258. Anyone else that's gonna please let Nick call in and share a story. Um, so should be up and working. Hey man,
What's up, man?
I'll turn you down so you're not blasting everyone's ears out. I think that should be good.
All right. What's
Hey
going on,
Frank.
man? They can hear me?
Hey, can everyone hear Nick?
Hello.
It's on a little bit of a delay going through like two different sites here, but
Yeah, just let me know when to start.
Twisted, can you hear Nick?
Hello.
Yep. All right, you're good.
All right, so check this out. I was at home. I was on home time. I went to a party, a birthday party, at a restaurant. I had alcohol, right?
Yeah.
I also had my brother as my designated driver.
Okay.
We were planning. This was long story short. We were planning to leave. We were walking out. My brother ended up running into somebody that he knew. I had already paid my tab, got the keys from him, went out to the vehicle, his car. I was in the passenger seat of his car, and I was waiting a little bit. I was like on my phone, like Facebook, whatever, just chilling. And then he was taking a while. I live in Florida. It was hot outside. I reached over, I started the car from the passenger seat. I turned the air conditioning on. Still sitting there, playing on my phone. Cop shows up. Wants to know what I'm doing, where I came from, explained to him everything. He claimed he had like a suspicious report about suspicious person on that street. So he asked for my ID, gave him my ID. I was cool about everything, told him where I came from. Brother showed up. He explained where we came from, what we were doing, who we were with. Everything was cool. But then about 3 or 4 more officers showed up, and they separated both of us. Took the keys out of the vehicle, made me empty my pockets. Told me that I had control of the vehicle. And I explained, well, I haven't driven at all tonight. This car hasn't moved in like 5 hours. Okay, but who was the closest person to the steering wheel? And I said, nobody. There was nobody in the driver's seat. The car's been sitting here. I've been sitting here. But if somebody could drive the vehicle, who would it have been? It was me. Because I was in the vehicle with the keys. Didn't matter if the engine was running or not. This is what my lawyer told me eventually. Didn't matter if that engine was running or not. I was in the car with the keys, and I was the only one in the car. Even though my brother was there, and he confirmed everything, and I told him, look at that license. You see that's a Class A. I said, I don't mess with that. I don't risk it. I don't risk my career. I don't drink and drive. My brother said the same thing. They gave me the test, which I actually passed. I passed the test. It wasn't a breathalyzer. In my
Yeah.
county, they do not give you the breathalyzer unless they are taking you into jail. But they gave me a sobriety test. I walked the line. I followed the finger, did all that stuff, and I passed. But the cop said, "You're in the vehicle with the keys. I smell alcohol on your breath. I'm arresting you for suspicion of DUI." They almost arrested my brother because when they were putting me in handcuffs, he kind of lost his shit a little bit. But I told him just to chill out, go home. So yeah, that night I lost my CDL. I lost my regular driver's license for 6 months, and I spent in about 8 months' time. I spent about 18 grand on fighting that, and I finally beat it.
Damn.
But that $18,000 I spent, I don't get that back,
Yeah.
and it's still on my record. I have to wait 7 years to expunge it from my record. I cannot apply for any decent company just with the arrest. Doesn't have to be a charge. You have that arrest on there,
Yeah.
you're not getting a job anywhere, unless it's Western Express or something. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah. Um, that
That is
came.
my story.
Yeah, that came up on a coach had someone on his truck for doing an interview, and he had some drinks, and there's
Hmm.
been a big old argument about that. Can you drink and then hop in your truck? If the cop decides to be a dick, like in your situation, he can get you for having control of that vehicle, and you're going to lose your CDL.
Yep, that's all it takes. It doesn't matter if you have intent to drive. Doesn't matter. And I hired the most expensive lawyer in Florida, the highest, like the most respected DUI lawyer in Florida. He has never done a DUI case. Every lawyer I contacted in Florida has nothing to do with DUIs or with CDLs. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
with CDLs. They have no idea. They don't know the laws, the rules, the restrictions. They don't know any of that shit. So for 6 months, I was on a work-only driver's license. I got a job as a construction worker for $10 an hour. I lost the place that I lived at. I'm now in debt because of it. I'm doing better now. I got a better job now.
Okay.
But yeah, for a good while, that really sucked. So
Damn.
don't ever get inside a car with your keys if you're under the influence. Doesn't matter which seat you're in the car. I don't care.
Yep. No, that's a great piece of advice. I'm sorry you had to go through that, man.
It sucked, man. Thank you. Yeah, it was terrible. Didn't do anything wrong. Was doing the right thing. Had a designated driver. A brother that doesn't drink at all as a designated driver.
Yeah.
And still happened. Still happened anyway. It's like it's some sort of loophole that they can get you for. Driving under the influence, even though you didn't drive. You didn't
It's.
drive at all.
I think it all boils into who has control of that vehicle. It's that fucking
Yeah.
loophole, and it's that same loophole that can screw you over with your CDL if you climb even into your sleeper. Like my truck now, with the company I'm at, they don't have APUs, so I got to idle. So
Yeah.
if I crawl in the back drunk and a cop bangs on my door, they can freaking get me for the exact same thing they got you for.
That's right. Yeah, you are in control. You have the keys and you're in the vehicle.
So
So you
man,
just got to be careful with that. You never think it would happen to you, but it happened to me.
yeah,
I lost it. I was hauling jet fuel for on a military contract. I was making stupid money driving a tanker truck. Stupid money.
yeah. Damn man.
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your story, man. Hopefully this will help
Yeah, no
some
problem,
people
buddy.
out and avoid that headache of going forward and really think about because me and Twisted, he's one of my other students. He does YouTube videos now too. Me and him have kind of been really talking about like alcohol and like pretty much saying if you have your CDL, you shouldn't be drinking at all unless you're at home or in a hotel.
Yep. Don't go anywhere. Don't be in a car. I've actually gone to places. after this happened with friends, like a gas station. We pull up in the car, 4 or 5 of us together. Everybody goes inside, but I'm the only one who doesn't want to get anything, so I'm still in the car. But we just left somewhere drinking a few beers. You better believe I take them keys and I throw them at them.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave me in a car with them keys again. Nope.
Yeah. Damn.
About $18,000, lost a job, went in debt.
Yeah.
Could only drive to work only.
Damn.
I mean, I still went to Chick-fil-A and stuff, but didn't tell anybody about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. There's. I think there's some kind of like, if you run into a cool cop, they're not gonna fuck with you too bad. But yeah, it's still that whole headache. That I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that sucks, man.
And I've had people in law enforcement that I know tell me, well, you must have resisted or been some sort of an asshole to this guy. And it's, no, I wasn't. I was respectful. I was completely cool. Did everything he said. I said, yes, sir, no, sir, thank you. I mean, I was as cool as could be.
Yeah.
I've always respected my local police department.
There.
Didn't want to give this guy a hard time. And in my mind, I hadn't done anything wrong. So, I mean, obviously, I was cool. You know, hey, take my driver's license, check me out, run the tag,
Yeah.
whatever you got to do. You can even search the vehicle. I don't care. Like, I was cool with everything, but
Yeah.
had no idea I was going to get arrested that night for a DUI when I did not drive a vehicle anywhere. Wasn't even sitting behind a wheel. So, yep, that's just that's my story. Don't do it. Don't get in a car.
Yeah.
Especially do not drive anything.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a horse or a bicycle. Don't do it.
That's one of my favorite YouTube videos where the dude got the 12 pack and he's driving the scissor lift down the road.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Steve. That
Um.
guy's from Kentucky.
Yeah. Jimmy. I'll tell you too, and then I'll let you go. My dad was a police officer for 34, 35 years before he finally retired. And what it comes down to with a lot of these DUIs and all that stuff, I'm not talking bad about cops or anything. I've got, as you said, I got the utmost respect for police officers. It's the politicians behind these police departments that are driving it. They got to get so many. If they get so many DUI arrests, they get grants from the state and the city, or actually from the state and possibly federal grants, because they're busting all these DUIs. And I have a feeling that's the reason why he decided to get you.
Probably.
So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story. Hopefully, everything starts working out better for you from here on out.
Yes, sir. I'm going out on offshore oil rigs for a little while, so I'm making some stupid money again, having a
Yeah.
little bit of fun. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck with that, man.
thanks, man.
All
I'll
right.
I'll watch the rest of your video.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
Bye. All right. That was Nick. He was one of my students. That goes back into, I don't know how many of you guys have watched that video with Coach and the guy he interviewed and all that. Boils down to, if you have any sort of alcohol, do not have the keys to the vehicle. Do not get in the vehicle, because if the cop wants to screw you over, they will screw you over. Plain and simple. Um, on the medical side of it, and what I kind of want to talk about, and it's kind of the reason why I do my vlogs, the way been doing my vlogs. I gotta get more edited and put up. Takes a lot of time to do. Um, excuse me. If you look into what's going on with James Hensley right now, a lot of people on YouTube don't like him, or whatever. As another fat boy to another fat boy, I got some respect for him for what he's doing out here and putting the video out here and actually sharing everything that's going on with him. Um, Plain and simple is he pretty much had a mini stroke in his truck at home, and if the clot wouldn't have freaking broken up, he would have died in his truck, and his kids were the ones going to be able to find him. So, for him to put his story out there, I I have a lot of respect for him. I got a lot of respect for the people that are helping him out. The people that are coming out against him can go fuck off. Um, just because he didn't reach out to you means you could go against him. It's you're just showing your true colors, and I hope everyone sees it and just freaking unsubscribes from your damn channels. So, um, make sure, and alcohol's a big one, like you were saying. Medical, it could end tomorrow. You can go in. Another buddy of mine, another one of my students, he's going through some shit right now because he's diabetic. He's not using insulin, but his protein level was too high for to the limit for your CDL. So his DOT doctor only gave him a 3-month card. So if he can't get that down in 3 months, he's pissing away. He can no longer drive trucks, and there goes his CDL. So, and then we got the crap everything that happened with frickin' I'll even say his name, all the crap that happened with Crazy Bags and trying to think he can circumvent or sidestep, in his own words, the rules for prime and training and losing his job on it. That is the reason why prime does not want you to be dating your students. They find out it's a zero tolerance. Same thing as alcohol. You can't even have Listerine with alcohol in the truck, or even rubbing alcohol. So there's reasons for it. There's zero tolerance on a lot of shit. Don't risk losing your CDL. And like in Nick's case, he had a fantastic job making stupid money, and it's all out the door over something really fucking stupid. If I was in his situation, I probably wouldn't have had the money and the setup to be able to fight it the way he fought it. So, hold on a second. If anyone else wants to call in and share a story or talk, I'm going to put the number up here real quick. 615-624-4258. I will not answer block calls. So, that's the phone number. If you want to share your story, ask some questions, or anything else that's going on. Yeah, politicians, and it's kind of the shitty part is politicians, yes, they do control a lot of the shit that goes on at police stations. My dad was up to assistant chief at the smaller department before he transferred to the department he had to do 30 years at, and he stayed a patrol officer just because of the frickin' politics. Hey, thanks for the like button. Yeah, smash that like button for me if you're on YouTube. I've got 4 of you in here on the YouTube side. So, feel free to call in if you got anything you want to talk about. Twisted, even if you want to call in and just call that number. Don't call my cell phone number. The line's open. So, that's kind of the big topic I wanted to talk about tonight was, how quickly driving a truck can go away for you. It's not just, hey, it's something stupid or even a wreck. That's the other thing that me and Twisted were talking about you get involved in an accident, it's not just going to be a breathalyzer or anything like that. They're going to go in and take blood. So make sure you are clean, because if they find any traces of anything in your system, you are automatically at fault, because we are the professionals out here. Even though a lot of us don't act like it and don't drive like it, we have to take a higher we get the higher responsibility of everything, and we're at fault. So If anyone wants to call in, share their story, or talk about anything else you want to talk about, numbers, camera's backwards. Numbers right there. Yes, even prescribed medications. There is a whole list of drugs you cannot take as a truck driver. And if you get caught with that in your system, there goes your CDL. So anyone else have any questions, comments, or concerns? I can't even tell how long I've been live right now. I'd have to click over to the other screen. So, phone line's open if you do want to call in and to chat about anything. Make sure I didn't miss anything. So, but I am glad I got my software up and going. Only thing that kind of has me a little upset is I can't directly share over to my Facebook page. Yeah, I know. I gotta figure out how to clear off that or I'm gonna make a general live YouTube thumbnail um on my streams. I was just trying to get this software up and going. Like as I said, I was having massive issues with Streamlabs, but it took me literally like 5 minutes to get OBS set up. So, Twisted, if you ever get freaking a laptop, convince the wife to let you buy one. I will help you and get everything set up so that way you can kind of do the same thing. But yeah, I got to go into YouTube and get rid of that and put a generic live thumbnail in there. That's kind of funny. So, Daniel, you're watching on YouTube and your wife is watching me on Facebook. Sweet. So, as I said, that's kind of what I want to talk about. I don't know if anyone else, I got up to 9 people on my Facebook page. If anyone wants to kind of call in and talk about anything, phone number's right, as I said, it's backwards, so it's right there. Just don't call from a blocked number, I won't answer. She tells me to buy one, I just don't want to. Hey, Jeremy. Doing good. I'm just hanging out, talking about truck and stuff. One of my students called in and shared a story about how he lost his CDL overnight. She asked me about one. I just don't want to buy one. Hey, you should do it. If you're looking into laptop, Daniel, I would recommend getting a gaming laptop. I'll send you the one I got. It wasn't too bad. So, how's the weather where you're at? It was raining here in Arkansas. It's been on and off all rain. The fog was starting to come in. I'm not going to put my exact location out because I don't want some stupid trolls doing something stupid. I'm not going to go through that headache. But I am in North Carolina right now. I got a delivery about 41 miles away in the morning. So weather's not, it hasn't been too bad. Last time I looked, it was like 60 degrees out. So it's kind of been really nice. I know there's an ice storm moving through. So hopefully everyone else is having a good night. As I said, if you want to feel free to want to call in and chat about anything, feel free to call in. Just don't do it from blocked number. Yeah. No, Twisted. I know you're kind of a little bit newer to this. What happened to somebody is they decided to swat them. if you look up that term, it's kind of what they've been doing to gamers and all that crap. So that's why even on my videos, my vlog videos, they are a couple days behind. Um, Sarah jumped over to YouTube now. um, so just to avoid that headache, I don't give out my exact location. Even when I put up my Instagram pictures and stuff like that, I'm usually like pulling out of that place. So it's never really where I am at exactly. So hey, we got a couple more people in on the YouTube side. Calling numbers right up. Camera's backwards. There. If you want to talk about your situation in trucking, questions, or anything else, general topics, I'm kind of just going to hang out here for a little bit longer and BS with everybody. Feel free to call in. Um, if you're catching it a little bit later, feel free on the YouTube side. I don't know how long it'll be up on YouTube, but on YouTube, go back to the beginning. One of my students shared his story, which was really kind of crappy on how everything panned out with him. So, and I know I'm kind of get used to this new delay. There's a little bit longer of a delay than what I'm used to. So, hopefully everyone else is having a good night. I can't really complain now that I got my software halfway working. Oh, and Coach is live. How had the money changed since you went local? So, kind of the difference in pay has been from with Prime Solo. I was averaging 1,500 to 2,100 take home, but that is not health insurance and that is not taxes. That is minus all my deductions and all that. Um, that was what's getting into my count. Now I've been averaging where am I at? 900 to 1,100 take home every week, and that's with taxes and insurance taken out. So, and on top of that, I'm home for at least a 34-hour reset every week, compared to Prime's home policy where it is a minimum of 1 day out and 1 day out for every seven, or yeah, 1 day home for every seven out, and a minimum of 3 weeks out before you can take home time. Hell, I think if Prime switched it up and if you were in a hot market like how I was so close to Murfreesboro, um, instead of a Reed City dedicated, opened up like more of a Murfreesboro dedicated and let us take a 34 every week and more accounts like that where they can set up 34-hour resets, I think they would grow a lot more. Or hell, like in your case, Daniel, let you do a 34 every. Well, you're on the pad, but you get to go home for 34 hours every week out of Springfield. I think your wife would appreciate that. So yeah. So I'm pretty much making the same money as I would make as being a OTR at Prime, solo, not a trainer. Um, as a just a solo regional guy with this company. So that's kind of part of the reason why I moved over. I will be doing, what day is today? 4th. So think next week or the week by the within 2 weeks I will be doing a 2 month review and doing a official release video of where I'm at now. And talking about how main reasons why I jumped over, the pros and cons. And yes, there are still some cons being over here. Oh yeah, tell me about it. How you only took 334 hours all year. Yeah, it's kind of a good thing but a bad thing. I know but then it's also depending on your fleet manager and how you're running. I mean, that's kind of the shitty side of Prime is either you're going to be running your ass off or you're going to be. I know a whole bunch of people, especially team trucks right now, that are taking multiple 34-hour resets. Or worst case is in order to get the mileage that you need to run, you're up there running on I-80 right now, and then you're getting screwed over and getting stuck in all these storms. That's one thing I always refused. That's one. If I were to go back to Prime, I would literally be a company driver and do PSD only training. I will do up a separate video on that, on the money that's kind of involved with that, and talk about some of the things I dislike that some of these trainers get away with. Since Thursday, have a look to southeast and doing pretty good. Still through the house about once a week. Oh, hey, that's good, man. Yeah. Well, I'll call it. I don't think it was. Well, December I left Prime. I'm over at a different company now. Um, but yeah, once that's well, Cersei didn't end. They cut the frickin' rates, and when they did that, we were making stupid money on that account. So I can't really blame them for cutting our rates, um, but once they did that, kind of was the kind of the last nail in the coffin for me to look somewhere else for a different job because OTR solo as a lease driver is not what you want to be doing at Prime, and especially trying to get home. If you're one of those guys that want to run 4 or 5 months out at a time, I've known people that gone a year without home time. Then it's great, but after 6.5 years, um, I wanted to be home with my kids more, plain and simple. So, anyone else want to call in and talk about, share a story at all? Or I'll close that up and I'll wrap this up here in a little bit. As I said, I don't know how far of a delay this is on. I can't even get to that screen. So, hopefully I'm not freezing up too bad on you guys. Oh crap, I hate that. Try not to block all this too much. There we go. Sweet, appreciate the super chat. I think you're my second super chat ever, Twisted. I appreciate it. Driving tank reservoir was a piece of cake. Goes above and below. Yeah. Tanker's fucking awesome. I should. And then some of the trailers I have now have the side skirts, but there's a little more gap between the frickin' rear tires and the end of the skirt. I'll do that up in one of my videos. But then we got some trailers that do not have these side skirts, and trust me, I can feel the difference when you get into higher winds. When you do not have the skirts, it actually allows the wind to frickin' go under you instead of being a frickin' solid frickin' wall. So, anyone else want to call in, chat? Again, Nick, I do appreciate you sharing your story. Uh, Twista says, Nick, tanker scares me. The side to side surge must be scary. It's not really the side to side that you gotta worry about, Twisted. It's the front to back. And then that's where you get into smooth bore or open bore. Or smooth or baffled, I should say. Baffled, that kind of helps you out with that surge. It's still not going to stop it. Um, where you get really messed up is when you get into the ones that are multiple different tanks, and then you got different surges front and back hitting you. And my brother does hazmat tanker driving out of Illinois, and I'm not worth the risk for me. All right, so I don't think anyone wants to call in. Twisted, do you want to call in and chat for a minute? Or are you hanging out in the back all scared playing your Call of Duty? Make sure I don't miss everyone. Nope. So I got people jumping in and jumping out. So, but hey, it was a good topic to begin with. This kind of back end of it, just us hanging out and bullshitting. So, as I said, if you want to call in and talk about anything, feel free. The number's right there. And also, if you're catching this on the replay, that number is not. I'll just say it's on, but I put it to do not do disturb. Um, but you can always call and leave me a voicemail if you want me to address something. You can text me on that number. It just I won't answer it unless I'm doing a live feed like this. So that's right. Them prime trailers were like pulling a giant windmill across the road. Yeah, it's like hauling a big ass fucking billboard across the road. I had one situation once where I almost got blown over. That was the biggest ass puckering moment of my career so far. Empty trailer and getting hit with a freaking side gust. And literally there was another prime driver behind me when that hit me. It literally put me the driver's side trailer tires were off the ground. And it started picking up the ass end of the trailer, but thankfully I turned into it and I had enough room because I hit the brakes, turned into our, not into it, well, turned into the direction of the wind, and then got it back down, and then I parked right. I nosed into it because there's a big old pull-off area, and I parked for the night, and I called it until that wind died down. Nick said the Surge is a whole new ball game. The unbaffled trailers can be intense. Baffled, you don't feel it. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you got time to search for everything. Turns, times for shifting. Yeah, that's where I also throw a lot of people off, where they freaking say switch from tanker to something else. I knew there was I don't know if it was any of my students or not. Um, Thought about going tanker, went with a tanker trainer after TNT. Did two loads and they did one down Mount Eagle, and decided right after that load tanking wasn't for him, and he switched back to Reaper. No, laying in the truck being sick. You're not allowed to be sick, man. You got 3 students now. You don't got time for that crap. But yeah, hey, no worries, man. So, alright, I think I'm going to end this here.